What makes each of you ladies want to advocate for the decriminalization of sex work in South Africa?
I think one thing that sex work is work, and then you're a mother, you're a father, you're a brother, you're living and making a livelihood, and I think should be recognized. And then when you have to stand up late at night or work from a brothel, you know, your safety, your life is at risk, and you need to be protected. And that the human rights aspect of it, that you're a human being, the Constitution of South Africa protects you regardless of where you come from, and that is what we cry for, that those rights should be respected regardless of what work you do, and the basic conditions of employment should be there, you know, should be able to bank your money, access loans, be able to be like any other professional person and be treated with the same rights and dignity as an ordinary citizen.
That's
what makes me want to advocate. Because I think sex workers are not just sex workers. I think they're also very loving, caring people. They're part of social fabric, you know, people who bring communities together. Because we don't want to talk about it during the day or at night. Yeah. That's why it's very difficult. But people who know that their families are living off that and their friends are doing it tend to be a bit receptive and just see that this is a way of living.
Glynis, what makes you want to advocate for this?
I think I'll call mine experience. I am a grandmother, mother of 3 children, 7 grandchildren. So I started late also in choosing. And for me, I promise you, I am a Virgo, I'm a perfectionist. So my job is a job. Sex work is a job. I'm professional in what I'm doing. Yes, I have in my career met people that are from a lower class, they didn't go to school. You know, I don't know what reason they do it for. People would say they're drug users. It's fine. But at the end of the day, you know, if I go back home and I did it as a part-time job then, I have my job in the professional world. The money was not enough being a divorced mother. And I could put food on my table, you know, and give my children what I felt guilty about taking away from them in the sense of getting divorced and out of an abusive marriage. But I still feel guilty, you know, I took away the private schools, you know. So I think in that sense, and then I think to myself, I can tell you that I made a choice. And I know what it is to stand there in the cold, you know, to sit there in the brothel. I mean, where I come from, that's not even the type of people I mix with, you know, but I'm there. I could listen to them, you know, and I think to myself, you know, they got 4 children, no husband, but they work, they sit there, you know, they work. And even the clients you meet is people that are normal, they could interact with me. You know, and I mean, when I started, it felt like I was an alien. You remember, I was part of the professional world. But you know what happened? For 10 years, I did not come to town. I did not have coffee with my friends in the corporate world. What was I going to tell them if they asked me, where were you last night? You know, what happened at work? It's taboo. So I'm almost 60. I have not had a life for the 12 years I've been a sex worker. Can you understand?
Yeah.
I didn't have a life. So yeah, I can understand. And I don't want it to be like that for the younger ones that's still there. You know, that made a choice for doing that. You know, I don't want them to have that. That's what I want for them. Like, well, we have our Constitution. I can't understand that protects us, but who is going to be held accountable for that in years to come, after 20 years even? So I think it's by time they should decriminalize sex work.
Now, Ravimbo, is this a story we hear often about how people actually get into sex work?
I think the conversation is there, but we don't want to listen and we don't want to humanize it. And we always try to hide it and divide ourselves, that, you know, it's the poor people, it's the women who are not educated, it's, you know, there's always a class to it. And, you know, we also take away the choice element and the power of choosing. So I think a lot of the times we don't want to have a conversation about it and we hide. But, you know, when you hear the human story of it, of being a mother, divorced, being single, trying to raise kids, you know, and trying to provide for your kids what they don't have. And because currently we use a 1957 Sexual Offences Act law, which was amended in 2007 to criminalize the client. So the one who buys sex work is criminalized, the one who's selling is criminalized, the ones that live off the earnings, that includes the children, for example, my children, will be criminalized.
Wow.
So that's the whole criminalization is something of not recognizing of why would someone choose such this, or why would you not become a domestic worker and not have a choice? But at the same time, we boast about freedom and equality. And this is not just a situation in South Africa specific. It's in Africa, it's in Europe, it's around the world where people are not able to choose decriminalization as an option, except for New Zealand, to say, no, let us try and have safer working conditions. So it's quite emotional, though.
A question you often hear people ask is, why do it if it's illegal?
I think that's why people still ask, is sex work still criminalized in South Africa? Why is the government not taking stronger stance and not opening the doors for decriminalization? That is what we're asking. That was the aim of the selfies, to ask the parliamentarians. They're not having a conversation. Let's start the conversation. And the human rights are there. The evidence of violation is there. Last year we had about 700 cases documented from our helpline of human rights violations. The WLC, who's one of our partners, the Women's Legal Center, do have human rights violations. The CGE, we do work with them. They know about these human rights violations and do support decriminalization, but coming to terms and talking to the parliamentarians and those who are going to support the bill, the white paper when it's passed and going forward. It's
10 years in the pipeline already.
Yeah, well,
yes.
Goodness, what would you say to those people who ask, why do it if it's illegal, if it's essentially a crime?
Let me tell you something. We saying, it's like you're saying it's a crime. It's a crime that's not being talked about. Because now, if I stand on the corner and the police is going to come there and arrest me, you know what they're going to charge me with? Loitering.
Really?
I'm telling you, they use the
Municipal
bylaws.
bylaws.
So my perception is, it's illegal, but you don't even know what to charge me with if I'm there. Do you understand? I would tell them I'm waiting for my bus, which is a excuse. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So now you stand every night here, and I've seen that they arrest people, they charge them with the bylaws. So okay, I know it's criminalized, but they don't even know what to charge you with. Do you understand? So that confusion that they have, I don't care, because they don't even know what to charge me with anyway. You know what I'm saying? So what? They come into a brothel, they say, look for the manager, and then they charge her, say, you are running a brothel. Then the workers there, they don't know what to charge you with, which has happened many times. They give you a fine. I couldn't remember what the fine was for, because it's a bylaw they use. So if they're confused about it, yes, I know it's criminalized, but I don't feel like a criminal, really. I don't. You know what I'm saying?
You're not hurting anyone.
Yes, and I'm earning money to survive. I mean, I pay school fees, don't I? Mm-hmm. I travel by bus. I go to the hospital. I contribute to the economic as well. I'm sorry, I do. Yeah. So what is criminal about that? So I don't see it that I'm a criminal. They think I am. And don't forget, I'm an alien as well, eh? I'm not a human being. That's why they put me in that bracket. So, well, I know who I am and what I'm doing, and that I'm surviving for that, you know? And it's one, like I say, everybody looks at it from a moral perspective. I think that's where the problem comes in, you know? Our families also do. It's a sin, you know, that type of thing. But if you're out there and you're hungry and you look at your kids and they don't have, I don't think I'm going to look at it as a sin. Not to put a piece of bread in their mouth. You don't know how it feels. I know how it feels. So I'm sorry. I'm not going to feel like a criminal giving them food, seeing that they go to school. No. Or we're not on the street. Mm-hmm. No. I feel that I'm providing for my family and the best ability I do, and God gives me when I need, even to doing that.